Welcome, beautiful yogis. I'm so glad you're here. This is Restorative Yoga, and we'll be lying over props in the next hour and some in various positions to reset our nervous system, to relax our limbs, align the spine, but mostly to calm our minds so much that we can enter the temple of stillness. We each have such a temple within us, and it's a place where we have never been hurt. So, let's do it. Please come to lie over your props the way I have it set up now. This is the open book pose, 2 blocks supporting the bolster, which is at a slant, and we sit on the ground. Right next to it, lie back along the middle of it, and then split open the limbs. An arm each side, a leg each side. The leg could be folded into cobbler's pose, or your legs could be out straight. And once you've found this position, please close your eyes and arrive into the inner body experience, where there is this awareness of what's here in the body. So go there right away, even though there might be thoughts, a transition from what you have been doing. Going straight into this breathing body, open into this moment. Let go all resistance. Just let thoughts do their own thing. As we now take in a deep nose breath, let it fill your lungs from the bottom upwards. Hold a moment. And then the exhale is the dandelion breath. Pursed lips, blow it away. We're going to do a few more of these. Nose inhalation, nice and full. Little holding moment. And then the dandelion exhalation. So as you continue, know that this is a lovely way to begin our journey to the inner temple, to the place of stillness and peace. And as with all journeys, we will meet all kinds of places in the body, in our thoughts, in our emotions, in our memories. We greet them and come back to the point of focus, which will mostly be the breath. I'll be directing your attention in particular places. So if you'll allow me to be your Sherpa, here a guide, we will travel together. Let's do 2 more of these opening breaths. As this exhale completes itself, bring your awareness to your feet, however you might have them, and sense the sensations in your feet. Some of us have achy feet, little ailments, little complaints in the feet. Notice what is here at this moment in your feet, in your toes, the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet. Let your attention roam through and around your feet. And now the invitation is to let your awarenessing rise from your feet and your ankles, along your lower legs, your shins, your calves, the inside, the outside of your lower legs, to arrive at the next spot where we'll pause, which is the knees. Awareness now resting in both knees at the same time. Can you do that? Both knees at the same time, sensing what's here in your knees. This too can be a little vulnerable place. Life's injuries and bumps often manifest, become very palpable in the knees. And just a welcoming to your knees exactly as they are. Accept how your knees feel. And our journey continues now from the knees to your thighs, upper legs, the tops of them, the bottoms of them, the inside, the outside of your thighs. And let your awareness move from your thighs into the groin, into the hips, into the low belly, the tailbone. Sensing this part of your body. Awarenessing now moves upwards again to your low belly and your low back. If there's a little intensity in your low back in this shape, you might tuck your tail slightly and move a smidgen away from the bolster. See if that eases that tension. And welcome your low belly and your sacrum area. Sensing the inner organs, the viscera, the kidneys, the liver, the spleen. And we don't even need to know the anatomy. There's just a sense there's a lot going on. Letting our awareness move now to the diaphragm. The diaphragm separates the ribs and the stomach. And it's a big transverse muscle that regulates breath. So if you're not sure of it, you could put your hands on your bottom ribs. The dome of it is tucked into the ribs. And feel its natural movement with your breath. So you'll feel that it expands on inhale, relaxes back on exhale. Yoga invites us to become very conscious of our breaths, to slow them, to deepen them. There are many ways of breathing in yoga, and many ways of breathing as a human. But right now it's slow, attentive, the coming, the going, the relaxed and easy. If you did, put your hands on your belly, on your diaphragm area. Just let them flop wide again. You have a sense of it now. And we'll stay with the feeling of the breath. On the inhale, not only is that expanding in the diaphragm area, but the feeling of the breath moves upwards as you continue to inhale. And see how the ribs move. expanding out, widening out, and how on exhale they soften back. Perfect synchronizing, perfect harmony, perfect dance of your ribs with your breath. This is the slow, loving dance of breath and ribs. Your next inhale might come up a little higher, a fuller breath if you can, only effortlessly, please. Where the breath not only expands the ribs, but you start to sense it at the collarbones. That's the very top of your lungs. And how lovely it is to let the breath go, and all that relaxes back. The ribs do, and also the belly does. Be now in the feeling of the rising and the descending, the falling back. And as the breath continues to breathe us, the invitation is now to sense both your shoulders. If you have an injury in one or both, you could put an extra pillow under that so that this falling open, this falling back is not quite as intense. So taking care of your body. And if it feels good to let the arms fall off into gravity, let that be. And we'll let the feeling of the arms come into awareness. It's so lovely to have them a little wide away from your body. And even the forearms relaxed on the ground if you can. If your arms are a little shorter, you might place them on blankets at each side. Those blankets would also serve to support your thighs if they are outwardly rotated. And now the feeling of your palms, both hands at the same time. Do you notice a response from your hands as you pay them attention? No doubt you've heard that where attention goes, energy flows. So by simply attending the hands, energy flows there. In yoga we call that energy prana. Might be a little warmth, a little tingling. And we let all that be now as we let the awareness come to the sensation of the face, your unique face. Your attention now roaming over your brow, your eyes, your cheekbones and the skin of your cheeks and the hollows of the cheeks, and the lips, and the space between the nose and the upper lip, and the space between the upper and the lower lip. Can you relax your lips? Just into the hint of a smile. be sure to unclench your jaw, your teeth. And then trace your jawline in your awareness. And then become aware of your ears, and the shell-like structure of the ear, spiraling inwards. Have a sense of spiraling inwards through the wave, the air, no, it's not air, it's sound waves of your ears, entering those gaps, and the sense of arriving somewhere in the middle of your brain. Feel that. We return awarenessing to breath, returning to the three-part inhale, the beginning of the breath in the belly, moving into the ribs and coming to peak at the very top near the collarbones. And then tracing those sensations in the reverse order, collarbones, ribs, and belly, relaxing back. So stay with that manner of breath. And this is how we'll be breathing in all the poses that we practiced today. And let's complete now this opening book shape. Gently bring your knees back up together. You can help them with your hands. And then we'll roll off the setup and rearrange the props. So if this is not your first time you're doing restorative, you know what to do. So we're going to just roll on over and get set up for the revolved child's pose. So the bolster actually stays. We'll take one of our blankets for a little padding for that left butt cheek. Sit down on your left butt cheek and snuggle in close. That second blanket could stay where it is. Support your knee. And we're going to use the hands to lift the spine. Rotate the trunk towards the left and then lie forward along the midline of the bolster on the left ear. And snuggle in this way. You can adjust your hips slightly to get a deeper rotation. And then feel how the bolster, the pillows, whatever you have, supports you. Arms at each side. Feel the breath in your back. Even direct it there. Your attention can do that. Feel it rise and feel it ebb away. And even as you do that, know, as many teachers have said, there is a place inside us that is always still and always okay and always at peace. And it lies deeper than our thoughts, And the breath can be the gateway to that quiet place. So when your mind is resting in the breath, even shaping the breath, other thoughts are interrupted. Not really a lot of room for other thinking, ruminations, remembering or planning. Because we're hooked into the feeling, the movement of breath. It's a lovely place to be. So long as you're not feeling any sense of struggle with this, you will soon become quite peaceful and relaxed. It's how our nervous system is built. The vagus nerve, that long nerve that runs from the brain and stops and visits with all the vital organs in the body, the throat, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the spleen, the stomach. This kind of breathing activates that nerve, and the nerve carries the message, all is well. You can relax. And so it's simply our conscious intention to rest in the breath and to know that none of us are perfect at this. To not be frustrated if you find yourself thinking. It's fine, it's natural and it's normal. But your moment of power is to choose to return to the breath. So each slow and intended breath moves us towards the inner temple of peace. What I love is it doesn't require any beliefs. It is something we can directly experience. So let's be in this shape for about 3 more cycles of breath. And then we're going to move to the other side. So the journey for that is to bring awareness to your hands. Position them so you could press down into the mat, bringing your body up. And then shift sides. You can do that on your knee or on your bum. Just going to drop down on your right bottom. That blankie, if you were using one, bring it to the other side now, the left side. We're sitting on the right bottom. The knees are on the left side. Lift your trunk, move towards your bolster, lie down on the right ear, and settle in. Feel that you can be held here, and let it feel good. There's a flow to your breath. The sense of being in the flow of your breath in this shape and letting it feel good, and finding a moment of gratitude to be here, breathing this way in this position. So gratitude is one of the beautiful practices that takes us into the inner temple. Grateful, the simplicity of being grateful for this moment, to see it as complete and full. And if there is a part of you that's hungry or thinking about what's coming up later, whatever may be distracting you, just acknowledge that it's there. Come back to your breathing and be grateful to be participating in this journey together, breathing together, resting together. All our vagus nerves doing what they are designed for, to message the body-mind that this moment is safe and that we can be grateful for this moment. And so it is said that no matter how intense the pain or the hardship that we have experienced, we can be courageous. That the load that we are given in our lives is never bigger than we can manage. And to know there is a place just behind the thoughts, feelings, perceptions. We become free, still, silent, at peace. if the only prayer you said in your whole life was thank you, that would suffice. That's a quote from Meister Eckhart. And if there were only one practice that we do, the one that has the greatest impact, that's gratitude. So when we say thank you to God or the universe for something we honestly appreciate, we are met with a wave of peace and joy. The appreciation we already have is amplified. It's amplified and made to include a whole life. So gratitude is the easiest, simplest thing to practice. And it puts us in an emotional state that is receptive for more positive things. When we're grateful, we naturally attract all things to be grateful for. So beautiful, yogis, are you ready? Are you ready to move again into the next shape? And we do it the same way. Find purchase of your hands on your mat. We're going to align down the center line once you're up on fours. And we're going to take supported child's pose. So if you have our knees, place a blankie behind your knees and sit back to lie forward over the bolster, and your head could be either way. You can also lie fully on your belly with your legs out behind you. A nice way to do that is to just place the bolster under your belly, let your legs lie back. We'd like to call this crocodile pose. The name doesn't matter as much as the lovely effect of lying all the way, full frontal on the earth. And feel that. The breath now into the resistance, right into the resistance that you might meet over these props. And so the invitation for this part of our practice is to inhale in this following way. To inhale for 4 counts, hold that breath for 4 counts. The exhale is 8 counts. So I'll guide you through the first one. Completely breathe out, and then breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin again. And so now, completing the cycle of breath you're on with the count, stay in the pose and let the breath breathe you naturally. No counting, no shaping. And notice the feeling state that might arise for you here. So beautiful, yogis. Slowly make your way up. If you've been in child's pose, give your legs a little stretch. One at a time, just stretch it out. So our next pose is going to be seated forward bend. So we need to create a little place to rest. So build something. Little tabletop with 2 high blocks, the bolster across, and then a seat, which could be a folded blanket. Straddle legs or crossed legs, and gauge the distance from your tabletop, what works for you, so that you can easily come to rest, either with straddle legs or crossed legs. Resting forward. Your table could be higher, could be lower, depends on your body and what you're up for today. Rest your brow on something, your forehead at rest. And so if gratitude is the first practice, then wisdom is the second part of the journey. And wisdom is the unity of your heart and your mind. Breathing in this way brings harmony to the fragmented parts of ourselves. So heart and mind come into resonance, into congruity, no arguments. Wisdom could have many ways of being explained. The one that Master Eckhart uses is: wisdom consists in doing the next thing you have to do, doing it with your whole heart and finding delight in doing it. Pretty much the same as Carl Jung said, I will do gladly the things I have to do. So being human in the world, there are tasks that have to be done, and it's lovely when we do them willingly. It changes everything. Not only does it feel good, it becomes an act of generosity. An act of generosity to wipe down the counters, make the kitchen look good again. And so instead of moping and complaining and feeling like we have to do things, say yes, and we do them gladly. We're resting and breathing in the seated forward bend, directing the breath to your low back. 3 to 4 more breaths in this shape. And as you are ready, we're going to make our way up. And this is a lovely place to pause, to do a little pranayama in a seated position. And this alternate nostril breathing is a very potent and mind-quietening, balancing breath. So sit up tall, close off your right nostril, inhale through your left. Lightly close that left nostril with your ring finger. Pause a moment. And then lift your thumb, open that right nostril for exhale. And the right inhales. Close it up for the little pause. Open the left for exhale. Left side inhale. Switch sides, little pause. Exhale right. Right. Inhale. Close up the right, little pause. Open the left, exhaling. And left inhales. Little pause at the top and you close it up. Open right, breathe out. And right inhale. The little pause as we close it up. Exhale left. Left inhale. Good. Now hold your breath. Rest your hand down. And then feel the breath go out through both your nostrils. And come in again through both your nostrils. And so we sit a moment, experiencing the feeling of the breath, the two streams, that when they exhale, end a few inches away. And when you inhale, they begin there and meet at the midpoint in your brain. Rest a moment at the midpoint in your brain. Then exhale the two streams. Inhaling the two streams. Rest. Exhale. One more time, beautiful yogis. This very integrating practice. And so at the end of this exhale, switch your attention to the feeling state that's here now. Don't worry, you will be breathed. Deepening the calm, lessening the thinking mind. We gently transfer now onto the back for the elevated leg position. So your legs can go over this bolster setup or against the wall. Your seat could be your pillow. Some like a pillow, some say no to a pillow. So see what feels good for you. nice if your back of the knees meet the prop that you're using, the bolster, a chair. If you're against the wall, your knees can be slightly bent, your feet flopping. No need to have stiff legs. This isn't as much about doing an active stretch as just allowing this feeling of inversion where the legs are higher than the heart. And the back now so at rest after the forward bend and the twists. And letting your body breathe you. Focusing now on your heart, your deep, slow breaths as though in and out of your heart. Gratitude. Your heart and your brain now linked in together. Information going up, information coming down. That's what's happening. But your relaxed focus at the heart breath. Being breathed or consciously breathing. Two sides of the same. Allowing now that feeling of loving awareness. I am loving awareness. Loving awareness I am. You might silently say that. Inhaling I am, exhaling loving awareness. Resting, affirming in a very deep truth. It's not so much a thought as a feeling state. It's not that there are no thoughts, they continue in the background. But as we hold the mantra and the breath, the thoughts lose their intensity, their power. As we've chosen to direct attention to this being loving awareness. So it's time now, beautiful yogis, to move our bodies into the next shape. So hug your knees in, roll over, so that we can rearrange the props for supported bridge pose. So everything gets turned around. Your pillow blankie above your mat, your bolster towards the foot end of the mat, and the blocks all the way to the foot end. If you don't have blocks, it really doesn't matter. Just a little add-on. So supported bridge pose, we're on the back, and we pull the bolster underneath the buttocks. So just lift hips, pull the bolster or a pillow, a couple of blankets underneath your sacrum. Roll your arms open. Either keep your knees bent with your feet flat or stretch your legs out, feet onto or over your blocks. The way I like to do it is to have the blocks slightly inwardly facing, kind of pigeon-toed blocks, so that when my feet hang over, the heels hang over and the block just snags the ankle. It's really very comfy. Be in the center line of your body. And rest in your breath. And resting in the breath at your heart. In loving awareness. A pranayama that works beautifully in this shape is the square breath. So you could try that. In for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, out for 4, and then hold your empty for 4 counts. Just do a few rounds. And as you complete the round you're on, let it go, rest in your natural breath. And noticing the deepening of the relaxed state. And even in the relaxed state, we'll segue gently into our final pose, which is relaxation shavasana. So if your legs are straight, just bend them. With your feet flat, you can lift enough to push the bolster down towards the feet, to let your low back land on the mat. Maybe give your knees a little hug in, and then let your legs lie over the bolster, with or without blocks. Pull your pillow blanket in and snuggle your back into optimal space. And feel this new arriving. And as you rest in your natural breath, be aware of your whole body. Whole body is receiving your natural breath. Your whole body is expressing its aliveness. And sensing what you could feel. It's a vibration, a hum, a throb, perhaps a shimmering. This is a beautiful place to be. Let yourself just be here, feel it, receive it. Nothing else is needed. We are at rest in this primordial vibration, this breathing body, so still, mind and heart aligned in a deep, deep peace. So vast, so spacious, eternal. the sense of eternity that we get a little glimpse of as we rest in the inner temple is always with us, even though it is time now, clock time, to return, to complete this practice. Sense your thumb and rub your thumb on all the finger pads, letting sensation return of your body. Stretch and clench or lightly clench your fingers, roll your wrists. The feet can move too. Your head might roll a little side to side. And then taking your time to just curl up on one side. To feel the gratitude, to acknowledge your wisdom, and to know that you are loving awareness. Feel free to stay as you are, or complete the practice in a seated position. Bringing the hands to the heart in the prayer pose. So grateful, beautiful yogis, to practice with you. Namaste.